Hello, everyone. Hola, bienvenidos to Cafecito Chats. I'm Laura Cortez, the CEO of Cortez Consulting, and I'm actually here with my guest and my colleague, Liliana Ordonez, the Director of Communications. Hola, Liliana, how are you?
I'm doing well, Dr. Cortez. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. So we're excited, everybody. We're launching this. ¿Qué tal, Liliana?
I'm a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. So bear with me on this, Dr. Cortez. But I'm excited. I know this is a new initiative that we have going on, and we've been planning, the behind the scenes. So I'm like super excited that it's finally, we're here launching it.
Yes. And if you guys hear us, we want to welcome the audience. We want to welcome our friends, our family, everyone's our colleagues who are tuning in. We're really excited for this. We're excited that you're here. Cafecito in our office is something really sacred, huh?
It is, it is. And to start off, just kind of the idea of how Cafecito Chat came into play was, as everyone knows, Cortez Consulting is a small business owned by Dr. Cortez. And we used to work off of a little casita, which was like, it was business there. But the neat thing about it, it was definitely very homish, very welcoming, was that we were like down the street from Summer Moon. So everybody that works there, shout out to Summer Moon.
Yes.
And we used to walk out there around 3 o'clock or so around this time. And we would kind of make our stop in our culture, as you know, it's called what it is, a merienda. And we would kind of take our afternoon break, and we would always, one of us would go bring it in. And the neat thing about it was that Miss Ofelia Cortez, your mom, Dr. Cortez, would sit around us, and she would always give them some words of encouragement without even trying. I just want to throw that out there, without even trying. And it just kind of became kind of part of our little tradition. So we took that kind of idea and incorporated it to something like Cafecito Chats, where we can kind of really connect with the community while, of course, having our cup of coffee here. So
We got a little cafecito, everybody. Yes, and it's been, so we wanted to share Cafecito with everyone. We think that right now all of us just need some space and time to have community. This has been hard without having a connection and not being able to see. I think for us too, I think for those of you who are part of the Latino community, it's, to abrazar, to welcome everybody, to talk to each other. It's been really hard. And unless you're with your own family unit, which most of us are, or some of us are not with our family unit, we have some of our colleagues who we work with and their families are really far away and it's hard for them. And so we wanted to create this space. So this is our launch today. We wanted to give you guys a little history of Cafecito Chats, but more so than that, we're going to share a little bit about who we are. I think that's really key. You're going to be getting, we're going to be hoping to host more of these every couple of weeks. We're hoping to bring you different themes. We want to hear your ideas of what you would like to talk about in Cafecito. We're going to be giving consejos to folks out there to feel motivated about what you're doing. And more importantly, that we're in all of this together. This is really hard times. When I've asked people, what do you want me to talk about? Or my family, it's like, pues el COVID, lo que está pasando with COVID, what's happening, what we're all experiencing right now is something really challenging. And so we have ups and downs. We have good days. We have bad days. We know some of you are really struggling with all sorts of things. And so we just want to be here to maybe give you a little uplift, something for 20 minutes of your day every couple of weeks to hear from us. So I'm going to start off, first of all, a lot of even my family and friends say, well, what's public engagement? What do you do?
Yeah.
What does that actually mean? And Liliana and I have had a chance to be in public engagement. And I think, would you say that's probably the number one question people ask is, pues, ¿qué es el public engagement, right?
Yes, yes, even until this day. And I know I've been doing it for quite a while now, along with you. And it's like, to your point, when I tell my mom, oh, well, I have, a public meeting, or I'm doing this. ¿Y qué es eso? And I'm like, okay, Mom, let's sit down and talk about it. But it's part of the education, and it has to start somewhere. So it's great. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And we have come from all different backgrounds for public engagement. I would say you talk to people in Austin, around the country, it looks differently, but we want to share with you a little bit about what public engagement means. And I've been really fortunate to come into this field. Now it's been 8-9 years, and started my own firm 5 years ago doing this work, primarily because we didn't see people that look like us in the public engagement. So we've been doing this. We celebrated 5 years in April. So you see our hashtag CCS 5 years. And we celebrated that in April, right around the time all this happened. So for us, it was a really interesting time. But we still celebrated our accomplishments, and we still try to talk about what that meant. But public engagement really means we are a liaison between our clients and the community. But we really are working within the community as advocates to really understand how can we get more people involved in the public planning process. So many things that go around in the city and in the community affect you, the person who's going to be getting new sidewalks on their street, getting a new swimming pool. Something happens in the community and you find out there's a new development. Well, what does this mean for my neighborhood? And so our team, what we do when we go out is we learn about the project, we represent our clients, but we more so go out and talk to the community and say, how's this going to affect you? We really try to give a voice many times to people who are not involved. And we use our Latinidad to go out there to speak to Spanish-speaking families. And beyond that, just to make sure that families who are traditionally not involved are part of this process. Right. So we just put up on our screen, and Liliana can share with you guys a little bit about our services and programs. We want to share with you what the bulk of our work looks like.
Sure. Thank you, Dr. Cortez. So this really sums up everything that we really put our efforts to. Like you mentioned, the services and programs have really been innovative ideas that the staff has developed, and, you know, with your guidance. So for example, with like public meetings and resource fairs, I think last year I was actually going through photos to kind of capture items for another project. And in that, something that stood out to me, and this goes back to COVID really, was the piece of just like seeing people connected and seeing them get the resources that they need. So I had a moment for myself, because of course right now we'd be planning a major event, and the fact that, you know, that wasn't happening, we were planning different things, but not that piece. I definitely missed it. Also, we do focus in stakeholder presentations, printing and digital marketing. Anyone that works in the marketing world and you're following us, you definitely know what this is. This is a lot of edits, revisions, and really being able to really put everything or your message in one flyer or postcard, or what that looks like. For in addition, last year we actually launched our community ambassador program, and this was a new addition to the CCS family. We hit it off strong, and now it was more of a focus on volunteer and focused on that. So we really reached out to students that need that hour. But if you're interested on being part of a community ambassador program, where you are looking to, to volunteer, of course, with COVID regulations and everything, totally understandable. Please check us out in our website to get more information on that. For the Cafecito Connection e-newsletter, this is a great subscriber. If you want to subscribe to it and kind of stay connected with us, but learned about everything that's going on with our latest projects, I would highly recommend for you to get a subscription and add yourself to this listserv that we have. And lastly, the internship program. And this hits home for me because I actually did my internship here with Cortez Consulting. And I will always be thankful for Dr. Cortez for giving me that opportunity. As of now, we have put the program on pause due to COVID, but it's something that I think both of us hold dearly in our heart. You launched it, Dr. Cortez, and I definitely was a product of it and very proud of it. But always, if these services really resonate with you, if you have any questions, always feel free to reach out to us. We also, in our website, have a subscription for that. If you're interested in becoming a partner or a client with us, we're always open to that.
in our internship program now. Oh, there's Roberta. Yay. We're
Yay!
glad to see our friends checking in. Um,
Yay!
the internship program we're hoping to launch in our next one, we want to highlight what's happening with students. Right now, everyone, I think, as you're
Right.
listening in, figuring out what's going on with universities, we're hoping to host some past interns, and we're hoping to host someone that could maybe talk to us and be a topic for next time, because we know families, students are all getting ready for this whole new phase of whether we're going back to school. What does this look like? The virtual learning process. We are definitely, I think Liliana runs the internship program now, but we're sad we're not around our students, and we're sad we don't have an opportunity to mentor them. But I think this also gives us an opportunity to do it a different way. So
Right.
we're hoping in our next launch, and we're hoping in our next conversation, our little cafecito, you'll see some new faces, student faces, and they can just come and just share what's going on, what they've been going through. So that kind of covers a little bit. I guess this shows here, you guys can see a graphic of what we've been doing. This is in the time where we had connections. We were able to be in touch with everyone. As you can see, there's Cafecito Connection. We do that every other month. So if you just want to read about our stories, our reflections, definitely subscribe to Cafecito Connection. We will definitely put that into the comments. So anyone who wants to sign up. So I guess now, there it is. Subscribe.
Yeah.
It's in our Facebook feed. Feel free to follow there and connect. I think the one thing, now that we've gone a little bit over what we do at Cortez Consulting, we want to talk about what life has been with us, COVID, huh, Liliana?
I'm with you, Dr. Cortez.
We've had huge changes, as you have, and they have not always been. We're excited to be here. We have this spirit of excitement, but we know that it's been a challenging time for all of us. Interesting things, shows that we've been seeing, things that we've been doing with our families. So what have you been doing, Liliana? Tell us some things that you've been doing, spending time with your family.
Yeah, so I'll actually share two.
Okay.
The first one I would like to share is actually when COVID actually started. We kind of were like, what do we do? We're all stuck here. You know, it's rare that we're all here together, and more as a parent, I hopefully, you know, some of you can sympathize and empathize with me. It was just like, okay, how do we find this new balance of working as well as now being on top of it, being a teacher? And it was definitely, I think, the struggle of the balanced. And then also finding things for them to do. My kids are very, you know, hands-on. They want to learn that way. So my husband actually, I asked him to create a garden bed, right? And for my mom as well. My mom lives with us. And in that, so we said, okay, we're going to, you know, become farmers, do something with this. But so along the way, we finally got it going. Everything is actually, you know, growing. We're not killing any plants here. So the main thing about this is just really being able to do this with my family. I don't think if the circumstances were different, I honestly don't think I would be able to see it and see a project that we're all starting together, from creating the garden bed, measuring, having the little one there, to moving it, to now actually seeing the plants grow in that.
Yeah.
I think that to me has been a blessing. I know probably a lot of our viewers are able to work from home. So I think feeling blessed on top of that, having the opportunity to work from home and being able to, you know, have my kids in the other room and still being able to hear them. So I think it's the little things that definitely COVID has taught me more to appreciate, and really, you know, being humble around that. The next thing, I know you mentioned what kind of fun shows or anything I've been watching. So, and I feel sick because this is like us being, you know, who we are, Latinas. So I don't know if maybe you do, Dr. Cortez, but Walter Mercado, for anyone out there. Walter Mercado, you just knew as you were being, raised. My mom used to watch Las Noticias, and
Yeah.
during the middle of that, she would be, cállense, 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 because she was ready to hear her horoscope. So in that, I actually watched the Netflix show of it because of my memories, growing up. And oh my goodness, I honestly was cracking up while watching it, but more because of my childhood memory. And sure enough, my mom comes up and she's like, "Hey, lo escucho, pero yo pensaba que ya estaba muerto." And I'm like, so again, it's those little things that I think you just learn to appreciate. And I'm very blessed, to have my mom with me or living with me, and the support that she provides for me is amazing. So, but you have to be able to laugh at those moments and just carry on.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched that Netflix show, Dr. Cortez, feel free to watch it.
I've watched it, and everyone else who probably is watching it for a second or third time. Yes, it's amazing. Just an amazing documentary of his life. Yeah. And one thing that you and I do share is having our moms at home and what that's like. So everyone who knows my mom, Miss Ophelia, she has actually, she lives with us as well. And I think for us, the one thing I share with you as well is these precious moments. She loves rose gardens. I hadn't planted roses yet in our home. So that was one of the things that she had us on. And now I have these beautiful roses as well as more plants that now I'm going to have to water when she's gone, or I'm going to have to be responsible for. But just these precious moments I'm super grateful for, moments to be present. If some of you got to read our Cafecito Connection, I also talked about my lunch hour. And I'm sure the staff could tell you guys that you would normally see me in the office on the go or eating, or they'd be like, todavía no has terminado, you haven't eaten your stuff yet, what's going on? And part of it is that when you have a small business, you're super busy. And so you're trying to get to everything you have to in a day, and which I love. I love staying busy and keeping busy, but I think that has been one thing. 12 o'clock comes around, I shut my computer, I go sit down. I have, even if it's a tuna sandwich or whatever, my husband, my mom, we all sit down, we watch whatever good show, reality shows on, and we just take the time to enjoy. So I hope all of you are taking the time to do that as well. I know I've also connected with friends that I haven't connected with in years, and that's been a huge blessing to have this connection to now do it virtually. I think, we haven't done that in the past, so I think that was also really good. Okay, so we just saw something hashtag on there, Cafecito Connection. What I meant, what are some things that I'm looking on our comments? Anybody have any comments for us? Are there things that you've been grateful for? I see some great friends kind of clicking on there. Hi there, Jen. So great to see that you've tuned in.
Yay!
Star, yay!
This is awesome. This is awesome to see just kind of people, logging in and, saying hello to us. I, like you mentioned, I think the biggest thing was, also being able to be like human. I think one thing that I like to add about, work and, having the opportunity to work from home, which this is not to get bonus points whatsoever, but I think you definitely, Dr. Cortez, have given us that flexibility and understanding that we are humans. I think it's been like 3 times my little one has honestly walked into like my office space, yelling like, I want a cookie. Or the other day was like
teddy bear.
Yes, showing the stuffed animal like he was like cut or with a Band-Aid or whatnot. So I think that sense, we all have to remember we are human. We are, the other person there, sometimes their little one could be feeling sick or so forth, or whatever the situation is. And just having understanding of each other and each other's situation goes a long way. It really does.
And I would say that to anyone who's tuning in that's a business owner, that's an owner. I think one of the things that I learned early on is that, the people who you work with, they are people beyond their office space. So we love seeing Lalo and Benito and,
Mm.
all the family members, but just so more so knowing that I think what this has all taught us is that we come to work, but we come to work with everything that we are.
Right.
And I think before COVID, we'd come to work and it would be this, put on your smile and get going, and there's nothing behind you. And I've even had my own challenges. So coming to work and being able to be vulnerable in this space at home and sharing that with staff, I think if anything this has taught us is that we have to be vulnerable and being understanding of where we are at this time. So for all of you thinking of starting a business, have a business. I have to tell you, this I think is just the new way we're going to be functioning, and understanding that this is a time where we have to be understanding of all families and situations. So with that said, we didn't see any comments come in, but we're glad to get all the support from the comments that are coming in. We just wanted to see if we did share kind of some consejitos. Is there any other consejito that you think we could share with them at this time too, Liliana?
I would say a major thing would be self-care. I think sometimes we tend to kind of push that to the side. I think, like, with me personally, I am currently right now, going to get my master's on top of, work. And then when the kids were in school, kind of being, a teacher there, supportive of, shout out to my husband, Memo. He is amazing. So thank you very much. But I think that adding that self-care piece to it, it was just a reminder. And it could be small as honestly reading like a good book, or going for a small walk. I think those pieces, I think somebody had to give me that message, like, just go for a walk. It's going to be okay. But just kind of reminding yourself of that, and that you're not alone, just like I truly, truly feel that I'm not the only parent feeling this way, or I'm not, and I think being able to be open with each other and share advice that could possibly help someone, that goes a long way. So I think, going to self-care and balancing just your time really just makes me feel like I'm at a better place. That's kind of my consejito for the day.
And I will resonate your consejito because I have also shared with it, my walks by myself, or my walks with my dear friend Esme, who may be listening, being committed to just having that physical space to stay healthy. I don't think I would have had that before. I think sometimes it gets easy not to want to go exercise or get out. And, now I've followed some virtual online wonderful classes that I'm taking from a dear friend of mine who started her own, out of this crisis, started her own business. And so I think we're all having to try to be creative and, being able to bond. So we hope a little bit of our vulnerability today and sharing with you that this is what Cafecito is going to be like. It's going to be Liliana and I kind of going at it, talking and sharing, giving you some personal stories, but then also hosting folks. So if you want to be on our show, you are definitely welcome to subscribe. We have an interest form. If you want to share, or you think a good idea would be able to be shared here on our show, Cafecito Chats, let us know. If you're part of an organization that does public engagement, wants to share what you're doing, you're a business owner, you want to share some of the activities, or you're just a friend or a connection with us and want to give us some ideas of what you would like to share, fill out our interest form. We're going to be going on this, and we don't plan to, we want to do it every 2 weeks. So it's something we're going to need a lot of ideas for. So definitely would love for you guys to subscribe to that. And then other things, how would you say people can get in touch with us?
So, of course, anyone can get in touch with us through our social media platforms. Of course, as everybody right now is watching through our Facebook. So thank you for those subscribers right now. Thank you for everyone. We can see 4 people are viewing us. So thank you for just even taking time and watching us. But definitely we are in Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, as well as Twitter. Feel free to always follow us, message us if you ever have any question. Another platform to use to kind of see all of what we do and who we are is our website. That is one of the many things that I feel like you mentioned, being a small business owner. I never understood what it was to be a small business owner until I came here and you told me you were going to wear many hats. Yeah. And I'm like, got it. Let's do this, right? And in that, one of the many hats I've actually observed you, Dr. Cortez, has been developing our website. So feel free to visit us at our website. There is even a way that you can connect with us there with a subscription form there. And lastly, I would have to say, if you really want to reach us, feel free to email us, or you can call us. Again, this Plática, I really truly feel it's more to let you know who we are and what, Cafecito Chats it's about and how you can stay connected. So there's many platforms you can get connected with us. It's just, the will. So maybe I am kind of encouraging you here to really jump on board with us and continue to connect with us.
And my dear friend Taryn, who just started Mommies on the Move for faculty mamas, just tuned in as well. So I think we're going to have a lot of exciting features for you guys to tune in. So with that, we're going to be signing off, finishing our time to enjoy our afternoon cafecito. And we hope to see you guys. Our next one is August 5th. So we hope you'll tune in. We hope this is a good time for you to just take a break from your day. So Liliana, we continue our journey. Yes.
Amen to that. And again, thank you to everyone that tuned in. We appreciate you guys. And till next time, August 5th. And remember, we're going to be highlighting our interns there. So hopefully, you can share and let the good news flow.
Thank you guys. Thank you.